Number 2 for July 2021. We'll start in just a second. Was I here earlier today? What? Have I been in this chair all day? Yeah, I feel like it. I feel like I have been here all day thinking craft, 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 craft. Anyway, thanks for coming back. A lot of you were already here this morning or this afternoon when we did Cut the Crap. So good for you. Thank you. If you're new to Fun University, give us a hoot and a holler. Let us know that you've never been here before so we can welcome you nicely. Did you have a good day? I have had all work day. I am ready though. I did sit out for a little while I was cutting the butterflies out for tonight. I did sit down and have some supper. Do I still smell like tuna? I changed my shirt. Did you notice? I did. It was just during the whole Cut the Crap and Create, I smelled like tuna. I'm surprised Carwin didn't come and sit on my lap and start licking my shirt. Or the dogs, they love it too. Wasn't that funny? I was like squeezing the can lid, right, to get the juice out, and it just popped because I had a nice little tuna shower. That's so funny. You read my post, obviously. Good. That's nice. Hello, Kim. You're getting your new house figured out. 5K, Lee, you're back. Bless your heart. Nice to have you. Roberta, you were early. Yeah, good. I think Sharon's swimming suit top finally came in, so I don't think she's going to be here tonight. But we'll, let's see. Yep, I got my regular, Mr. Producer has me set up. All right, let me go. Oh, hi Brenda, how are you? You're back from vacation. Woo! Ready to create. Well, that's good. Looks like you had a good time with your family. That was nice. Well, shall we start? Yes, I think so. Let us start. Let us engage in craft talk, shall we? All right, here we go. Thanks for visiting. We'll be right back. Oh no, next week. Oh my gosh. Just like pulling you along in it. Okay, thanks. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Mary Gunn. Welcome to Fun University. Hello, nope, wrong one. Hello, I'm Mary Gunn, Fun Founder and Head Professor at Fun University. Welcome to Cards Plus Lab. This is the second one of July, and it is July 8th, 2021, I think. If you like paper crafts and card making, you're in the right spot, and we welcome you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the evening's class. Housekeeping, what do we have? Oh, today we had a great fun show on the Craft Roulette channel, YouTube channel. It was just look up youtube.com/craftroulette and scroll down and find Cut the Crap and Create. It's a new kind of episode. It was episode number 5, but it was about paper hoarding. So if you know somebody that perhaps has a paper problem, let them see the show. It was pretty good. I think it was fun. I enjoyed it. Anyway, it is going to be a show that we're going to do every month. But anyway, that's that. Housekeeping, what else? I don't think I have anything else. But that was the big thing that was on my mind. And I did change, for those who did watch it and then read my post on our Facebook group, I did change my shirt so I don't smell like tuna anymore. So I did. Tonight's lesson is going to be a bit of a borrowed lesson from this afternoon's Cut the Crap and Create, because I think I wanted to show you. We're going to talk about A2 size cards and proximity. So I thought, well, and bugs. How am I fitting all? It's like parameters right around here, Craft Roulette parameters. So I thought I'd fit them all together in a way just to make it kind of easy on myself too. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to try to make 8 cards like I talked about during the show today out of 1 bases plus 1 sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock, pattern paper cardstock. The one you know how I chose it? Oh my gosh, I didn't even bother. I had a pile of cardstock pattern paper here for the show earlier, and so I just took the top one and I'm going from there. Whether the butterflies are going to look good on here or not, I don't really know yet. But we're going to work on it and we'll see what happens. And if it doesn't, I won't glue them down. I'll figure out something else. But let's go on down to paper. If you are new to Fun University, this is, we just talk about card making mostly from a design standpoint. This month we're putting together proximity and bugs because nobody wants a lot of bugs in their own proximity. So all we are talking about with that, what that big old word means, is just that when you have like things put together, close together, they feel more like a unit. And or have some reason to be filled together. Like this little card right here, we have 3 little butterflies. I think, and maybe this is not true, but I think these lines make them feel like they're all connected. They feel like a unit, like the butterflies all work together on this card because they have this joining them, these lines joining them together. If they didn't have those lines, they would still feel fine as a basic design because you've got the 3s and you've got a visual triangle and all that. But as far as making them feel more like a unit, I think those little lines really work. Probably you would want to have a smaller little thank you there. I also have a pile of thank yous that we're going to use tonight. So that was one I didn't have. Here's another one. To me, I should get this out of the way for a minute. To me, the use of color, and I don't know if that really goes with the proximity type stuff, but the use of color pulls this all together, and so it feels like a unit. The whole front feels like it's coordinated. There's some oneness about it. There's some comprehension on it. You don't feel like there's somebody sticking out like a sore thumb or somebody that nobody's playing with on the field out at recess. And so it comes all together into feeling one piece, and that's what proximity is about, and nearness also. This is one that is has a little more sense of nearness here. There we go. I had this, it's a belly band, and it just slides up and down because I didn't want to glue it down. So this little guy, if you look at this, proximity wise, you will notice that these two are closer together. They feel like more friends, don't they? And then this little guy is out of the relationship for whatever reason, even though you know that the whole thing is one card. You definitely can get a sense of more of a relationship because of their nearness. Especially like this guy and this guy, if you want to think about that. This guy really, doesn't it feel like this guy has come between these two? So those are some of the little proximity things just to think about how to make things feel like it's one card, that it's all working together. It's not, still we have the visual triangle, we've got 3 of a kind, so those things all work together too. There's lots of things besides one design element in a card. We also have the color that's pulling it together into one cohesive look also, with a little bit of pizzazz, which is fine too. Anyway, all right, so let's get after this, because we discovered today on the show, oh my stars, that if you have 100 sheets of paper of cardstock, it's about 1 inch tall. And then we also discovered on Cut the Crap and Create today that you can make 8 cards out of 1 sheet, A2 cards. You can make 8 A2 card sizes out of 1 sheet of 12 by 12. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to cut the first cut at 5 1/4. So we'll just stick that on there, move that over. We're going to make the second cut at 5 1/4. This is a super simple design. If you want to get through a lot of paper, this is the way that I would suggest, because this is the way that you're going to use the most paper on an A2 size. Then we can go just at 4, and we have 2 pieces. Another one at 4. So if you are wanting to get a bunch of cards out for Christmas, birthdays, have them all tidied up for the whole year, this might be an answer for you. This is going to be, we're going to just do this at 6. And then they'll go halvesies. All right, now we'll get this guy out of here. I think I'm just going to put him down here on my big shelf called the floor. Now I have some vertical or portrait cards ready, and I also have this same 4 landscape cards ready, and we're going to see how these all turn out. I have some butterflies already fixed just to add on tonight, so I don't know what, we'll just let them fly around over here. They have different finishes on them. These are watercolor, and this one is too. This is your watercolor down at the bottom, and then, oh, I guess I'm one shy. Then we have some that, oh yeah, I was going to show you how I did that one, that's why. Then we have some that were swinked for color, and they were using the oxides. So let me find one of those. And what color would we like to use? We've got 2 sides of color here. So we can do a turquoise. We can make a blue butterfly. A light blue butterfly might be real pretty. And we're going to see how many of these cards can be made before I get sleepy. And we're just going to swink this little paper on here. I'm not even going to do one way. Swiping the ink on the paper. That's what we're going to do. Then I still have Mr. Butterfly all ready for action. There's dog hair. Always dog hair, the ubiquitous dog hair. Or cat hair. It's hard to tell because I have a black cat and a black dog. There we go. This is just a piece of scrap paper. Lots. I was just telling Mr. Producer before we went live that because we've been talking about paper for a couple days. I'm loath to cut into a piece of 12 by 12 because I stopped buying paper last August. And that one didn't turn out so well. I haven't bought any. I'll try a different ink maybe. I haven't bought any paper except for white and black since last August. I'm trying. There has been a lot of temptation. Let me clue you. Oh man, there's some cute stuff out there. There we go. I think it was bumped up on there. So we'll let that come off there. And before the show today, my co-host, I was showing her my paper, and I told her how much I had, and she was like, oh, you really don't have a lot. Nope, not anymore, but I have plenty. There we go. So that's how I made these. It was very simple. You could definitely use pattern paper. There's nothing that you couldn't use. And then same thing with the watercolor. I just used scraps of watercolor paper and just quickly threw on some watercolor just for a wash, let it dry, and then use some waterproof ink because I didn't want to make a mess because I knew it wasn't going to be quite dry. So I thought, okay, we'll test it. I'm going to keep these little scraps of ink pieces in case I want to use them for some kind of decoration. Some faux brads, etc. Okay, now I have a plenty. You know what else you can do with these? These are distress oxides, right? So you could put little water droplets on there. Another thing, one of my favorite things to do is to take a jelly roll and add some white highlights. And then the other thing that I like to do is come in with some marker and make it more defined. But for right now, we're just going to go for cards. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Let me think. Do we want to do landscape? We'll do a landscape and then we'll do a portrait. Okay, so we've got our little pile of cardstock here that we just cut. We'll just put that right here so you can see it. And then we will decide what we want to use. So this one, and then the mats, I just random cut them pretty much before we started. I knew that I could change it if I wanted to. And, but I thought we'd just give it some good old get after it and see what happens kind of thinking. Okay, so if we use that and we use this on top, then we can pull in some kind, this is not going to have too much worry with colors. We're going to use something more of a complement right there for some Mr. Butterfly. We're going to need, or is it Mrs. Butterfly? We're going to need a little bit of paper to make some, for that butterfly to go somewhere. Now remember, these cards are just to primarily to go fast and use paper. So I know I'm covering up a lot of pretty paper. I know it, and I'm not worried about it. And we can just stick this on here. We're thinking here how to use paper if you have, remember, today we went through the math. If you have 12 by 12 paper and all through one cubby of Kallax, which is IKEA's system that so many of us have for storage, you can make 800 of these kind of cards. So we're thinking kind of quick and down and dirty, as we used to call them in the Fun University group. So I'm not going to worry. I'm going to see. I think they're going to be fine. These might not be my little art masterpieces, but you know, there's a whole lot of great things that can come out of quick down and dirty cards. They can be used for cards for soldiers, and they'll be pretty. They just won't be little masterpieces like some of the ones that we see that take 2 hours, which is fine too. I'm not saying there's a good or a bad. I think it's just a way to express yourself. And this particular way is to express yourself with a little bit being able to be kind to others. So this is going to go right into my bin for giveaways. And that's going to be, it'll be nice. Somebody's going to go, oh, look at that bright, pretty butterfly. I might be able to spend a little time and jazz him up a little bit. And we talked about this last week. There's a whole lot of information on proximity. Last week we made square cards. We talked about sticking sentiments in different places, how you decide. With the rule of proximity, to make that feel like they are going together, you would nestle it closer to the butterfly. And that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to slide. And that one, you know, I could just stamp right on top of that too, except I have it all fixed up this other way for tonight. So I did put that right up against that side since I had that piece cut out. You could also mat that. No problem. That would look pretty. I'm just not going to. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue, ATG, up there and then pull it down underneath him. Kind of like when you sit down to a piano with a tuxedo, you have to put your tails under you. There you go. Then you'd probably want to you could doll that up, but we'll doll that up in a little bit. There's card one. That was pretty fast. Let's do the portrait style. And this time, oh, well, it's okay because we're going to mostly cover it up. This time we'll use the red side. But since we're trying, oh, that's why I got some paint on there. That's why you could see it. That's okay. We'll just pretend it's part of the card. That does make a pretty little mat. That little, whoopsie. Makes a pretty little mat to have that. I don't usually use a lot of pattern papers for mats, but maybe I should change. I usually use just plain cardstock. But there's something I can learn right there. Maybe. We're going to use, maybe we'll just use this one. This one was, it doesn't really go, but you know, I'm okay with that. It's kind of, gives it a little bit of a unique feel. I'm okay with that. Not great with that. There's a difference between okay and great. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to do this, but I am. This is Hello Friend. I think it will fit better. Maybe. Maybe just hello. Oh. Proximity. Oh, last week I kept saying proximity. So, but you know, let's see what else we have. We've got options. We have options. We could also do this down here. I don't like that at all. But it might just be the color. It's okay. This is experimenting and oh, here's some card that needs to be used. So it has some design on the back that I'm never going to live with. So we'll put that right there. Maybe, yeah. I've got this blue sticking through, but you know what I could do? I can put another butterfly on there, and then you'll never see the blue. Doesn't really go with the red. Doesn't really not go with the red. How about some, doesn't look bad, doesn't look great. Doesn't look bad, doesn't look great. I think I want yellow, actually. I may end up making some more butterflies. I like the yellow with it. Okay, I think we'll go with the yellow. And then we will do we want to just use thank? Never be stumped by paper. You're the boss. You're the boss of the paper. Cover up that little spot. Thank you. Yep, that's going to be okay. It's not great. It's not bad. There's a bit of a lesson in there. It's not great. It's not bad. Do I want something else? Would that buy me some space on that? Here, I'm overthinking it way too much. Okay, I could put some red on there too. That'd be pretty. I wonder if I have a little piece of red. So I don't want to cut into anything new. That's going to be my rule for this little set of cards, if I can. Not cut into anything new. But I don't want to make it miserable. Here's a pretty good sized piece of red. Not quite big enough to go all the way around, but at the same time, maybe it doesn't have to be. I kind of like that offset red. I think we're going to go with the offset red. See, there's my mess on the back. I'm going to commit because we do have a lot of cards. If I make an 8, I can't slow down now. Miss Molly. And you know, if I did have a ton of card or paper, I wouldn't be so scared to use it. But since I've been on my fast, I have been careful of how much I use. And so I am very cognizant and use my small scraps when possible. So then we could, how about, do I have a little piece of gray we could map this on? That'd be pretty. So we're getting mats and mats and mats, and we end up with no scraps. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. They're not even evenly spaced on that white. We'll call that artistic, shall we? Yeah. Butterfly. Go on back. Did you see me just brush off the butterfly? Emboss for more texture. That's a great idea, Karen. You're late to the party. Not very. You're good. There we go. So Now, the question is, do we want to, you know, I don't know what's going to be best. And I'm not going to worry about it too terribly. It's hard not to overthink these things sometimes, and really, it's hard to just let go and go with sorta, your sorta best. It isn't easy. That's okay. I think that's kind of interesting. I think it can be dolled up, but I think it's okay for what we're working with, which is massive production. I mean, then we could do the math again on if it takes an hour to do 8 cards. And it actually took more because I stamped the butterflies. How long will it take you to use all your paper? Wouldn't that be sobering? I got some stuff here. And then you can then you can find, oh, that's kind of cute. I kind of like it. Okay, so that's card 2. Then you can find a demographic, or no, not, what is that called? The thing that tells you how long you're going to live. And see if you have a chance. Oh, wouldn't that be sad? Okay, ooh, I just saw that this one's got some boogers on the inside, so let's see if we can cover them. Because this is a nice big piece of gray. We are going to use this, ooh, dark, with a big piece, dark or light. There's the dark. It's not much lighter. I tend to love contrast, so I think I'll go dark. And we'll stick that on first. Now, if you were doing a sheet load of cards a la Crafty Al, you would just find one of these designs that you like the best. And if you were trying to get rid of paper, that would be my suggestion, is just go for it at that point. Find the one that you like and make it over and over again. And get that paper used up and in the hands of somebody that can enjoy it as a project. Oh, look at that pretty pink butterfly. He really stands out, doesn't he? Not my usual taste, but, you know, I think I'm going to put him down a little bit. It's not my usual style at all, but it's still not a bad card. It lacks a little bit in that it needs a little, probably some kind of little assortment around it to kind of tie it all together. Because don't you feel like this has a unit? This is a unit right here, proximity wise. They're right next to each other. It pulls it together so that you know, even though they're not the same, they're both stamped. They're both part of the focal point. So if you wanted to make a, you could add, I don't think I have any right here. I was gonna say even some tissue paper or something might be kind of interesting on that, but I don't know that I have any, and so I'm not gonna go there. You know what else I have? That wouldn't work. But we do have some little scraps, and we might be able to bring those in somehow or other without too much fuss. I'm just gonna go for it. This is all about the simple, straight up, get it done, use your paper, card stock, or paper, pattern paper and cardstock, because that's what's on my brain tonight, because I spent an hour talking about it, and it's just what I've been concentrating on. Get those little guys a little, so they don't squish. No squishy. Yeah, some sequins would be pretty, some gems, maybe a little ribbon or a little bow, something like that. Add some more little white. I'll show you what this, I think this little butterfly would look pretty with some white, because we've got all this white in the background. So we'll just doll him up just a little bit. Won't take much. Let's see, that was on this side. Yeah, his little wings aren't the same. We can put some little dots on his bod. There we go. See, that kind of dolls him up and brings him in a little bit too. So, I mean, it's not just nearness, but there's also some similarity in what you use. So, yeah, that's going to be fine. I think it needs a little something, but it's pretty down and dirty, fast and furious. Card number 3. So now we'll do the portrait version. Why did I have this with that? Did I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Let's, you know, I should be doing the reds with the, I'm going to make this, okay, I chose the wrong choice. I should have had the reds with the landscape because of the pattern, and then use this for the, and I can change it, this for the portrait. So we will fix that up for the next few cards, at least, which is better late than never. So, yeah, we'll go with the dark again. Okay, so tell me this. Tell me this. Have you ever made a card and never improved on it? Was it the perfect card first time? I have not, I don't think. I've always changed them the next time. Even if I changed the stamp or the color or something or other. I like that pattern. That's really pretty. Okay, now what are we going to put on here? That's kind of artistic. I don't know if you're going to get used, though. I just don't know. We're just doing the same thing. Did you notice that? Just the same thing. This guy down in the corner. But he works down there. He works just fine. And then we can add... No, I think it might be a little nicer. Let's see if that would be nicer. Should either be on it. Yep. Let's just stick that on there. And we can always test it. If we don't like it, well, we don't like it. I also have a few little stamps in the stamp set that we can come back and doll these things up too. Options, options, options. Oh my stars. Do we ever have options? It's basic, but it's okay. Let's pull him out. Put him down. You know, I think sometimes the easier cards are sometimes harder to make for people that have made a lot of cards. I don't know. You can tell me what you think, but and they're used to all sorts of extra doolollies and thingamajiggers and sparkly sparklies, and I think sometimes it's hard to make the down and dirty lots and lots of cards at one time kind of cards. Because you know all the things you could still add. And it's, but it's an exercise too. This is all thinking very simple. Might be good. I don't know. Might not. Might be the worst idea I've ever had. Well, probably not. I've had some pretty bad ideas. Okay, card number 4. Back to this guy, and I'm going to make him, except I'm going to change it so that this one is going to not, oh, it has a bit of pattern to it, or up and down, but you know, not nearly as much. So I really like that red. In most papers you find, you'll have, I think you'll have a side you like more than others. Maybe not, but I think so. That's been my experience. And then we'll go back to something like this. Looky there, it's all worked out so fine. Just so fine. Wish I would have just stamped these. But, you know, we might do this one again. This one's a little tall, too. Let's put him under the knife. Where'd you go? Thank you. I just took a long scrap. Come back, little Sheba. We talked about muscle memory today on Cut the Crap and Create, Craft Crib Crisis, paper hoarding, but we also talked about having things around your desk that you're used to where they are and how that really can save you a lot of frustration. Nope. And make it easier for you to enjoy your time at your craft table. Because that's what we really want for you. For you to enjoy your crafty time. Because we don't get enough of it, and it's no fun to sit down and be overwhelmed, frustrated, and ugh, who needs that? If you want that, there's plenty of things you can do. This is watercolor paper. It's a little thicker. It shouldn't be any different to glue down. A lot of times when I have a butterfly or something with a center body like the butterfly, I will go ahead and stamp it in black first and then do the wings and bring them and glue them on top of so that the body shows. So I don't have to worry about their little antennas being cut out. Yep, another simple card, I tell you. But I took 107 to the nursing home the other day, and so we'll get our box is empty. It's time to get it going again. And this is just the kind that is just nice, I think. They're simple, they're fast. There we go, card number something. Yep, and then we've got, now we can do this one and make it landscape. Think if you had stickers too, or let's see where the opening is. Oh, good for me, I looked. Think if you had stickers or if you had graphic cards that you could use, how fast that would be. I keep trying to use that, don't I? You could really crank them out. And there's always places that are looking for your cards. So, I don't know. We want to use pink. We might just end up using pink. We're just kind of getting running out of our options here. This is actually a metallic. Let's see if it looks better on the blue. Oh, I'm out. That's right. Now we're down to just the strips. So will this look better on the blue? Yeah, that's going to look better on that. And then we're going to put that on there. Maybe we'll just get that guy on there yet. Okay, let's use pink butterball guy on this card. Even though pink and red is kind of weird. It's okay. Don't worry. You know, because have you ever gotten a card and you were critical of it? No, that's no good. And if they are critical about it, better being critical about a card that you don't see them open. Let them be critical than about somebody that they're talking to or need to be kind to. You'll never know. You might take the pressure off somebody else. Okay, and then we can just make that guy float over there. I think that's just fine. I stuck him in there pretty good, so I think I'm just going to leave him. Yep. There we go. Flatten him down. I think he's kind of pretty, actually. Turned out kind of nice. This does have some little pinks in it. It's kind of pretty. Hey, that didn't take very long. Okay, we got another one. This one, we're going to make it tall. Because this is what you have left after you cut the 6. You cut the 6 pieces that are big, and then you are left with 2 pieces that are short. Yep, we're going to do this one. I'm going to make him the vertical axis. This is really kind of fun. It's kind of like, this is a good project, I think, at least for me, when I'm tired, because I am. And I had this little piece of paper. He's just a little short. Dang it. I think I'm going to cut him in half and then trim the card up just a little bit. But this is a great little project for me when I'm tired, and I can still enjoy sitting at my desk doing something. Which is good. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it doesn't matter. I just need to have both sides. The short sides at one end. Make it, well, I guess there's not really a short side. Sometimes do you remember Green Acres? It's an old show with Mr. Kimball, what was he? He was the county extension officer. And he would just backtrack on everything he said, and sometimes I feel like him. Well, it's not really a short side. And usually I open this up when I cut it. I am breaking all my rules. Now, okay, here's some proximity for you. Let's see what we do here. We've got this already happening right here, right? We've got some thoughts going on right there. Now, what do we do with this? If we have this over here, is that going to feel like it's part of the unit of the focal point? I have a little trouble with it. If we have it closer to this magnificent butterfly, it might feel better. How about if what do we want to do with this butterfly then? It's the wrong butterfly. I'm living up to that one right there. It's really not the best choice of colors on this, but it's, I think it's got its own merit. We're going to pretend it's just very, very artsy. So anyway, so now we have this all working together. They're all near each other. They feel like they're in a relationship, is what I'm trying to think here. Oh, is this one supposed to go on the green paper? I thought this, oh, you're right. Thank you. See, I tell you, I need my people. I'm glad I looked up, Karen. We can pull this in now. Where are we going to, if we could cover that, but I don't see the point. It's pretty. Let's let that be part of the design too, and just make it offset. This one actually ends up in the center then, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. And I don't know about this hello or thank you. It just seems like wrong. It just seems all sorts of wrong. But maybe we can just bring it down here. No, that seems all sorts of wrong. Could we make it separate and equal? Well, no, that's not as bad. You know what else we could do? Well, we could make that a tag, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to make this a little shorter on the sides, so that it lines up. Gotta hold your breath so nothing shifts. Everything I have is sticky. I think it was that just from the tuna juice shirt that I had to my scissors. Okay, just something like that might be kind of a pretty little card. Different, nothing, and then we can add maybe some little stamps or something. Some little blingy things. Splatters even might work. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. It's an option and I'm taking it. Whether it's the absolute best option, that's hard to say. I wouldn't say these were my best. I would definitely not say these are my best cards, but some of those don't happen in 3 minutes time. But I think it still shows you a little bit, and I can use them. Oh, let's make it a little higher. I can still use it for, I hope this paper doesn't rip. Seems like pretty good paper. Oh, oops. We'll get that off. Oh, you're moving on up. I think you're a little crooked, darling. There was a little crooked man who had a crooked wife. There we go. Yeah, it's still pretty low. It's okay. We're okay. Well, we'll come back here in just a second, see if we can doll these things up a little bit. And then, Karen, what was I doing here? That was going to be that way. This one is going this way. Thanks for that catch. Good job, Miss Karen. Now, oh, did I do it wrong? Yeah, no, I did it right. Okay, let's put this one. Yeah, we'll go toward the bottom. Toward the bottom, but not on the bottom. We're not going to have much paper left. That's kind of the idea here. Let's go ahead and cut this guy in half. Oops, he's too tall. It's going to take me a long time to use an inch of paper, though. Pardon me. Sips, sip, sip, sips. Hi, Sharon, in your red chair. No, you're probably not in your red chair. Or are you in your red chair? I think I'm going to cover a little bit of this blue just because I want the bottom to have a little more showing. More bottom showing. Rub off the glue bugs. There we go. Where's he going to go? Right here? No, that I painted that first, but the paint is actually coming up through the ink, I guess. Isn't that something? You just never know. Trim this one down so I don't have to turn that poor butterfly on its head to cover the edge. But I would. Yes, I would. Oh, Sharon, you're so sweet. You got your swimming suit top, though. I'm relieved. I was starting to worry. Yep, it's solid. Nothing fancy, but solid. You know, this is metallic watercolor. So, you know, that in itself is kind of flashy. I think I'm going to go 2 glues here. One to hold it down while the other holds it down. Belt and suspenders. This watercolor paper too, the antennas are pretty thick. They probably wouldn't rip off during regular usage. But we'll give it a little more chance to succeed. Okay, when did I start? I made 8 cards. Oh my gosh, that was 8 cards, you guys. Okay, we've got 4 blue ones and 4 red ones. They're not fancy. They're just okay. Let's look at them right now. One is going, let's see if I can find the ones that go together. Okay, we can start with this one, the last one. Where'd the other one go? There it is. So here we have the landscape and the portrait. Kind of pretty. Here we have the landscape And I made this one also landscape. You know, gotta go with the flow sometimes. Then I switched it around and made this the portrait and this the landscape. I didn't spend much time with this paper. I just picked the one off the top. I didn't pick it out. It wasn't like I'm gonna agonize and decide what to do. And this one and this. Those turned out okay now that I'm looking at them. I really didn't love them when I was making them, but now I'm looking at them. I think I'm okay with them. We do have some pretty. Oh, that was one of my favorite stamps. It apparently is missing. Nope, it's in there. Oh, good. I don't have to be sad and all awful sadness come upon me. This is a perfect little accent stamp. There's several. Do look at your little. I don't know. I'm always surprised by the little stamps, and they're some of my favorites usually in a stamp set. This is also an old stamp set, but it still works. And like this little guy, isn't he just the cutest little happiest sprig of love? I think so. And then he's got a big brother right up here. But I don't want big brother. I just want him. I just want the little guy. And I hope I don't mess him up, but I'm not going to make anything too dark. We're going to go lighty light, 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 light. I think that gray is going to go with this too. So, okay, we'll do these two first. Just add a little bit. Oh, this is the part. Oh, thanks, Judy. Thanks. Yeah, they're not the worst thing. And then maybe one more. Oh, I'm not sure if I like that, but maybe it'll take some time. We'll develop a relationship. Okay, so we'll do that one. I'm going to do it anyway. Keeping it close. Maybe a little too close. Cutting it close. These are a little different than when you use embellishments. Okay, I'm not sure if I like that one either, but that's okay. I don't think anybody's gonna go, oh my gosh, why did she do that? Jeepers. Oh, you know, I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna make it into dots. I think that there's too much direction going on that. And there's this cute little dots right here. And I think I'm gonna be happy. Yep, making me much happier already. There was too much direction in that. See? Yeah, that was, but I'm not going to change it. Also, that's okay. Okay, mister. You're kind of fancy pants right here. If I put it down here, would it look like butterfly poo? I think it might. So I don't want to put that right underneath him. Because there's nothing more disturbing than a pretty butterfly with poo. Do they poo? I don't know. All right, Patty, we will have hey, we're going to have a good guest tomorrow. I always say that, but I think she is going to just be delightful. Carrie Rhodes has a lot of talent, so there we go. So we'll see you then, Patty. Thank you. And we'll be looking forward to your submission. Once again, it's good. Just kind of keeping it in the neighborhood. That's kind of what you do to keep it with the proximity stuff. Oh, this one's probably not necessary. I think I really didn't need to do this one. But I did it, so it's already too late. I'm not going to do it. Well, you know, you could do it. I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll go up here, there, here, there, and everywhere. Do you ever feel like singing Beatles songs? I don't want it. Okay, let's just do it a little lower. So we have a little triangle, a little bit of weight at the bottom. You've got a little bit of proximity, so it feels like part of the unit. These are all things I love. Okay, hey, we did it. We used one sheet of paper. One sheet. Oh my gosh, only 99 more in this pile to go. So, we're getting somewhere. You're sure that caterpillars do. You are right. Caterpillars do. You know, you can poop a worm too. You can, if you take a worm, because my daughter did it when she was a mad scientist, and you just kind of squeeze them on down, and you can poop a worm. It's great fun for children to see, and adults too if they've never seen them. Hey, we made 8 cards, so that's pretty fun. If you, I think it's a great way to use paper personally, and then if you thought it through on what you were going to add for the sentiment. Even if you had a great big sentiment, you wouldn't even need this guy necessarily. You could just do a rather large sentiment or die cut. I just didn't want to deal with die cuts tonight. But if you had, like, this is a great big sentiment, and you could just feature that, and you wouldn't have to worry about worrying about the colors of the butterflies and things. But you know, they're okay. They're okay. I think I'm going to put them all in the little to-go bag. Would you like to eat this card here, or would you like to take it with you? We're going to put it in the doggy bag and send it down the street here so that they can have some more cards to give to the residents and for the residents to use. I do have an agreement with the fellow, and so you know your staff can't use them except to give to the residents, and you can't sell them in the gift shop. They only are for residents. So those are my thoughts on that. Do I want to use some of your paper? Oh, Sharon, I've got plenty. You know, I didn't even get into this today, but this is it. There's, I've got the Goldilocks. I'll tell you what I have going on here. I've got the Goldilocks system of paper. We've got the Papa Bear paper, which is the 12 by 12, not cut into. That's on the top shelf. On the left, I think it's your right. This part is my cardstock, and that part is my pattern paper. Then we have the Mama Bear paper packs down, or pieces down here, and those are filed by the color wheel. And so if I'm looking for a piece of yellow cardstock or paper, it's usually pattern paper, but some cardstock, I can just look in there and for instance, I'll just show you, because we got done with our cards so fast, and there are probably some extra things in here right now, but so here it is. This is just how I have it. And so I have the smaller, oh, I have orange in here too. I thought I had separated those. I just have my yellows and oranges, I guess, in here. I do need to go back and file them a little better. They're kind of getting out of sorts. But these are my Mama Bear size. And I was talking before the show tonight, or the class tonight, that I do everything I can not to cut into a new 12 by 12. It's just funny, because I have enough, but when you're on a fast, it's all of a sudden very valuable. And then the little containers, which I also have by Color Wheel, so which have just small pieces, and they're really handy. They're really handy, and I keep one of these that just says to be filed, and also I think I have a to be filed on this one too. And so not very often, but a couple times a year I'll go through it and fix them up. And I have them just with like R for red and RV for red, not for recreational vehicle, but for red violet and stuff like that. It's worked out real well. I'm kind of looking forward to buying a little paper, but I think I might buy 6 by 6s right now, because I've got enough. It just doesn't take much paper to make a card or even a scrapbook page. It's just phenomenal. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me tonight and encouraging me, because I was tired and I feel better now that I'm done with it. Thank you. I don't even know. I think there were no moderators here tonight, but that's okay. Give them the night off. They were at the class today. Again, if you want to go to Craft Roulette YouTube channel, you'll see the show. And that was Cut the Crap and Create Crafty Crib Crisis with Cranford and Carrie. That's me. when I'm doing that show, I guess, and Mr. Producer. And then tomorrow night we have Craft Roulette. So we keep on, we just keep going and going. Yeah, I have this little ever-ready battery in my back. I'm pretty sure that. Anyway, this was less than an exciting class, but maybe it was solid. That's kind of how I feel about cards. Some of them are really exciting, and some of them are just solid, and I don't discount the solid ones as anything less. I think they're still great. So I'm going to kiss my own brain. Give myself a break. Good heavens, quit. We do enough of that, right? All right, I'm doing it again. Yeah, that felt pretty darn good. I want you to do it right now, too, would you? Just kiss your own brain for being here tonight, wanting to learn a little bit more about how to use paper and make cards for people. I think that's a neat thing to do. I obviously do. I've done it a long time, and I think it's a great way for you to express yourself, and I love that you're here with me and sharing your ideas and your tips and your encouragement. I appreciate you a lot. One for you. And let's thank our patrons. Dun, 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 dun. There they are, those beautiful, beautiful patrons. We do have some bonus content that we do share on our patrons. We including my thoughts. Mr. Producer and I do a show now, Craft or Math, talking about the Craft Roulette show, which is pretty fun. I know Sharon said it was like sitting around the kitchen table with us, which is funny because we don't even have a kitchen table. But we don't. We have a kitchen bar, and and we usually just sit in our own rooms and do our own thing. It's very dysfunctional when we eat, but we're still happy. So anyway, thank you guys for giving us a little support. We do have expenses here, and it really helps and means a lot to us. Keeps us on the air, and it keeps us free. So for free from ads at this point. So we're glad for that. If you do know somebody that would like some art classes with us, especially how to understand card making with design, do share Fun University, where we went free so we could reach more. So that's kind of what we're thinking. I'm going on and on. I must be tired. I'm going to hit outro and go eat some popcorn. Hope you do too. Night night.